Every day we plug something in without thinking. A phone charger before bed, a laptop at a desk, a lamp in the corner of a room. It feels like one of the simplest gestures in modern life. But hidden inside that routine is a tiny detail most people almost never notice. The two small round holes near the tips of a plug's metal prongs. They look too minor to matter, almost decorative. The kind of feature you assume could disappear tomorrow and change nothing at all. And yet they have stayed with us for well over a century. So why are they there on so many plugs? And if a plug can still work without them, why have they never really gone away? Let's get into it right here on Secrets of Simple Things. The guesses sound clever, but they miss the real story. People have invented all kinds of explanations. Some imagine the holes help electricity breathe, as if current needs little air vents to move through metal. Others assume they make power flow better, or somehow make a device stronger. And some dismiss them as one of those meaningless design leftovers nobody ever bothered to remove. But none of those are the real reason. Electricity does not need those holes to travel more efficiently. The truth has much less to do with making power stronger and much more to do with a much earlier moment in history, when electricity was still new inside the home. Back then, plugging something in was not yet the quiet, thoughtless action it feels like today. When electricity entered the home, almost nothing felt settled yet. In the late 19th and early 20th centuries, electricity was beginning to enter ordinary homes, but very little about it felt standardized. Plug designs varied. Outlets were inconsistent. Even the simple act of plugging something in did not always feel dependable. Electricity promised light, convenience, and modern life, but it also brought a powerful new force indoors before the rules around it had fully matured. In some cases, people even used makeshift adapters attached to light bulb sockets to power other devices. It was ingenious, but it was also messy, and sometimes dangerous. Engineers were trying to solve problems that now feel basic. A plug needed to stay firmly in place instead of working itself loose. The connection needed to reduce exposed contact, unstable contact, sparks, and heat. In other words, electricity had to be tamed before it could feel ordinary. So those little holes were not born from decorative thinking. They came from a period when even a small improvement in grip or safety could matter far more than it seems today. The first job of the holes was simply to help the plug stay in place. One of the earliest practical uses of those holes was simple, helping the plug stay where it belonged. Some early outlets were designed with small catches, raised bumps, or spring-loaded retaining parts inside. When the plug slid in, those parts could line up with the holes in the metal prongs and give the connection a firmer hold. It was not a dramatic locking system like the heavy-duty ones used in some industrial settings today. It was more like a light mechanical assist, just enough to make the plug less likely to loosen or slip back out. The effect was subtle, but reassuring. In a way, it was like the soft click of a seatbelt. You may not focus on the sound itself, but it gives you the feeling that something has settled into the right position. That steadiness mattered in a very ordinary way. A loose plug is annoying, but when household electricity was still new, that annoyance could lean much closer to danger. And even now, versions of the same idea still matter anywhere vibration, movement, or tugging can disturb a connection. The real danger was the plug that sat halfway in. The more dangerous situation was not always a plug that fell completely out. It was a plug that sat halfway in. That in-between position left the prongs making loose or incomplete contact inside the outlet, and that is where trouble could begin. When contact is unstable, current does not move as cleanly as it should. Small gaps can produce sparks. Resistance can create heat. Over time, that combination can increase the risk of damage, failure, or even fire. What looks like a minor looseness from the outside can become a much more serious problem inside the wall. This is where those tiny holes mattered again. When paired with retaining parts inside certain outlets, they help the plug settle into one of two safer states, fully in or fully out, not hanging awkwardly between them. That is one of the quiet truths behind many good designs. They do not need to look impressive, they simply help bad outcomes happen less often. In an era when home electricity was still less refined than people now expect, a small mechanical detail like that could carry more value than its size suggested. A tiny hole became useful long before anyone called it efficient. Once the holes had proved useful in the socket, they also became useful in the factory. Plug prongs were typically stamped from flat sheets of metal, and punching out two small circles meant using slightly less material in each piece. For one plug, that saving was almost invisible. Across millions of plugs, it stopped being invisible. The holes could also help with assembly. In some designs, internal parts had a better way to grip or anchor the prongs inside the plug body, helping the whole piece come together more securely during manufacturing. That matters because everyday objects are not designed only for the people who use them. They are also designed for the systems that must make them again and again, reliably and cheaply. Once a detail proves useful both in the wall and on the production line, it becomes much easier to keep. A small feature can survive for a very long time when it quietly solves more than one problem at once. The holes also quietly helped electricians do their work. There was also a quieter use, one most people at home would never think about. Electricians and repair technicians could use those holes as small practical contact points when testing a circuit or checking whether power was live. A testing tool could catch more securely in the hole than on the smooth outer surface of the prong, making it less likely to slip during the check. This was never the main reason the holes existed, and it is not the reason most people recognize them. But it adds another layer to the story. A good design detail does not always survive because it is essential in one dramatic way. Sometimes it survives because it keeps proving useful in several quieter ones, across places the average person never sees. That is part of what makes ordinary objects so interesting. They often carry small conveniences for users, manufacturers, and professionals at the same time. Why other countries built different plugs without these holes? If those holes were so useful, why did other countries not keep them in the same way? The answer is that different regions solved similar problems through different designs. In much of Europe, plugs often fit into recessed sockets, so the structure of the outlet itself helps keep the connection steady. In the UK, plugs are larger, sturdier, and built around a different set of safety features. In Australia and other systems, the shapes of plugs and sockets evolved along their own paths, with their own ways of creating a secure fit. So the holes are not some universal rule of household electricity. They are part of a particular design tradition, especially tied to the American style of plug. In that sense, they became part of the visual DNA of one electrical standard, rather than a law every country had to follow. Different safety systems reached the same goal through different shapes. The strangest part is that modern plugs do not absolutely need them. And here is the twist. Even in the United States, modern plugs are not legally required to have those holes. Some cheaper plugs leave them out entirely, and the plugs still work. Electricity still flows. Devices still turn on. So if the holes are not mandatory and not absolutely necessary for basic function, why do most manufacturers still keep them? Because by now they are familiar, inexpensive, useful in production, and still compatible with older outlet designs and long-established habits. Removing them would not dramatically improve anything. Keeping them still makes sense. That is often how small design details survive, not because they are perfect and not because they are indispensable, but because they remain useful enough, cheap enough, and stable enough that no one has a strong reason to erase them. What those tiny holes have really been doing all along. So in the end, those tiny holes were never there to make electricity stronger. They were never some mysterious technical trick hiding in plain sight. Their role was much more human than that. They helped plugs hold more securely. They helped reduce the danger of looseness, sparks, and heat. They made manufacturing more practical. And in their own quiet way, they helped daily life run with fewer problems. That may be the real lesson here. Many of the smallest details around us do not survive because they make technology look more impressive. They survive because, over time, they make the world slightly safer, slightly steadier, and slightly less troublesome. So the next time you plug in a charger or switch on a familiar lamp, you may see not just two little holes in a strip of metal, but the trace of more than a century of people trying to make electricity feel safe, stable, and ordinary at home. If this video made you notice something ordinary in a completely new way, subscribe for more stories hidden inside the simple things we use every day. And if there is another small detail you have always seen but never really stopped to question, leave it in the comments.